So this morning we listened to the message. Who is this Melchizedek? Melchizedek. And this was a really wonderful message. Yeah, really nice message. And recently they put out the Genesis Bible series on Lifeline. Remember we listened to the Bible series? And that gave us such a wonderful picture of how God created everything in the beginning. And one of the first things that happened was we saw a little white light.
What is?
A white light, like a halo. And this was the pillar of fire. And they said that it was seen many times on the earth. So we want to go now to this question of who is this Melchizedek?
Melchizedek.
Right? And Brother Branham says there are several schools of thought. Right? Many people have different ideas of who Melchizedek was. But let's listen what Brother Branham says. We're going to take three quotes from the message. We're going to use our Agapo tablet. And we're going to use three quotes and describe what we have on our little journaling picture here. Yeah. So the question is, who is this Melchizedek? Now, there was a man that met Abraham. Who's this?
Melchizedek.
Melchizedek met Abraham after the slaughter of the kings and gave him, what did he give him here? What is this? Bread and wine. So what he served him? What he call it? What he call bread and wine? Communion. So he gave him communion. So this was a great man, but they described who this man was. And the person said, and the Bible says,
and the person is eternal. If you notice, he had no father, he had no mother, he had no time he ever began, and he had no time he ever ended. And ever who it was is still alive tonight. Because the Bible said here that he had neither father nor mother, beginning of days or ending of life. So it would have to be an eternal person. Is that right? An eternal person. So it could only be one person that's God, because He's the only one that's eternal.
This was God now. This was this same light that was in the beginning. He formed himself into a body of flesh and he came and he met Abraham. So this is Melchizedek. Now we're going to read another quote. We're going to find another quote. Because after a while, you didn't hear anything about Melchizedek again. Listen. So Brother Branham says now,
he came in and lived in the person of Melchizedek. Then later, we never heard no more of Melchizedek because he became Jesus Christ. Melchizedek was the priest, but he became Jesus Christ.
So it's the same God, eternal one in the beginning. And Brother Branham explained in this message, he said he just changing his form or changing his mask. So he came as Melchizedek to visit Abraham, and then he changed his form and he came as Jesus. And we're going to do one more quote, because there's so many lovely things Brother Branham said, but we're going to pull out three quotes alone just to show what is these pictures we have on our little sheet here.
Brother Branham have a pillar of fire.
Yes, Brother Branham does have the pillar of fire over his head. Now listen now. And is promised that there will come a time in the last days, and Amram, we're living in the last days. In the last days, according to Malachi 4.
And promised that there would come a time in the last days, according to Malachi 4, and according to St. Luke, that He would appear again in human form among His people and do the same thing.
So who's this?
Brother Branham.
Brother Branham.
Brother Branham have a pillar of fire.
That's right. So it's the same pillar of fire, it's the same God, just changing his mask again. So Melchizedek has come again in our day. So when you hear Brother Branham speaking, it's Melchizedek or God in him, using him to bring his word in the last days. So that's why when we listen to a tape, like when we press play and we listen to a tape, it's not just Brother Branham speaking, it's Melchizedek speaking. It's Elohim speaking. Elohim. You ever heard that word Elohim? Elohim. That's the self-existing one. That is God himself. That is who is speaking through his prophet, Brother Branham, in this day. So who is this Melchizedek? Now, this Melchizedek is the same one here. It's the same one here. And it is the Lord himself. I am this Melchizedek. So it's not just a Melchizedek, wasn't just somebody in the Old Testament a long time ago, but Melchizedek is still here with us today. So Abraham, we believe everything that Brother Branham said, because we know it's not just him speaking, we know it is Melchizedek speaking to us. That's why we love to press play. This is
Jesus.
Jesus. Yeah.